It is the 22nd day of July 2022, exactly 17 days to the general election. We are keeping a keen eye on the campaign trails of all the candidates around the country as they continue to woo voters. Also, we are also following up on the Willy Kimani judgment. You do remember in 2016, Willy Kimani, together with 3 others, were murdered, and 3 police officers and 1 informant are currently in court, and Jesse Lesit is currently delivering that judgment. We will be crossing over there. My name is Njue, and Lucy Moro will be a sign language interpreter for this live newscast. Thank you indeed so much for joining us. Straight to the news now. Of course, you can keep this conversation interactive via our social media platform. We are live from Nairobi and also on our social media platforms. Start with the election preparedness, where Nairobi Regional Commissioner Kang'ethe Thuku has assured Nairobians that security has been beefed up within the city and its environs in preparations for the August 9th general election. Speaking during a presser in Nairobi, the Regional Commissioner said they have identified hotspots for violence and deployed enough security, with 2 police officers deployed to man each polling station during the election day. At the same time, he assured transport and basic amenities for the city dwellers will not be interrupted during the voting day.
Our role is to deliver a peaceful environment that will allow the conduct of free and fair election. It has been a process, and just giving the general overview of security situation, therefore we have been working on this environment as a committee. That is our mandate. And we have, of course, identified areas that we think can be bad. And we have done a lot of deployment come the D-Day so that we will be able to take care of everything. Let me also say that in terms of deployment, we have enough officers to deploy to all the polling stations. And for record, we have 3643 polling stations and also 2493 polling centers. And we are assuring Nairobians that the D-Day on the 9th of August this year, they can actually wake up, go cast their vote, and go back to their homes. So transport will be flowing normally. There will be also, of course, basic issues like water will flow as a normal day. Electricity will be there and all that. So it will be a normal day, and we are telling people not to be fearful. In the market, the farmers, the traders will supply food in the market, so that things can be able to flow normally. To be a normal day like any other and all that.
Elsewhere, a foreign national who was arrested yesterday at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, JKIA, with election-related stickers has been released. Inspector General of Police Hilary Mutyambai says the materials were also released to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, after investigations.
Inspector General has said the Venezuelan national was detained at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport while delivering election materials because proper procedure was not followed in the transportation of the materials.
The arrest, impounding and subsequent investigations into the materials was necessitated by the sensitivity of elections materials and further by the following facts requiring due diligence.
He added that the election stickers were not declared as stipulated by the law.
The stickers were not accompanied by the IBC officials as per routine procedure.
The IG noted that the stickers, which were sensitive materials related to the upcoming general election, were carried in the personal luggage of a foreigner.
We were not notified of such an import beforehand to provide necessary security and escort. Subsequently, investigation have revealed that the stickers are bona fide property of the IBC and part of the election-related material.
Beatrice Getonyenge-Tich, Lunchtime News.
And away from matters touching on elections, the competency-based curriculum is now receiving thumbs up despite having met some challenges at the baby step stages. Experts now cite practicals as very crucial when it comes to learning and also the concept of learning through playing. This was proven by Horace Mpanza, the Regional Managing Director, Makini Schools, during a workshop in Nairobi.
With the country now fully decided on moving on with the competence-based curriculum despite criticism from a number of stakeholders, the curriculum is now receiving a boost from experts.
Are we good?
Yes.
Are we ready?
Yes.
During a workshop in Nairobi Thursday, Immaculate Musambi encouraged experimental learning in school as children get to understand better.
In primary, we used to hold hands and we were swinging around. Nobody told us about gravity, but we just enjoy PE, you know, or put water in a bucket, tie a rope, revolve, the water will not pour. Nobody told us about this. And yet we have so many of our students failing in physics, in the sciences. Why? Because they are not exposed to experiential learning. So for this is important for us.
We often underestimate the concept of learning through play. And this actually highlights that. These concepts of zero gravity will make sense to a child in the classroom because they've experienced it. So it makes better sense when they've actually experienced it physically themselves.
And the topic about the zero gravity where objects are held static at the walls was appealing for learners.
I liked the way if you tried to put your head up, you'll see it like it's diagonal or upside down. You could turn upside down. It felt like I was Neil Armstrong walking on the moon. Experience how it will be when if you want to be an astronaut, how you'll be when you grow up. It was kind of scary, but it became fun. And the best part was you could go off the ground.
And to drive the point home, Gravitron Park, the organizers of the forum, availed a gravity machine to the learners, the only one in Africa. The machine will be available for a week for the students and parents to experience it.
It takes the lead in new inventions, new transformations, especially towards scientific knowledge. And it's not just the usual classroom work. So as parents, we are extremely very, very happy.
It is experiential to the children and also to the adults so that they can understand better how the force of gravity acts upon the earth and other objects around the earth.
Ruth Wamboy for Lunchtime News.
And from education, let's now shift our focus to matters politics, where a section of business community in Athi River has declared support to Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance presidential candidate Raila Odinga. The business persons termed as remarkable a move by Raila to front Kalonzo Musyoka as the chief minister in case the Azimio coalition wins in the August polls. This and much more in the Political Watch.
A number of traders from the small and large-scale businesses converged in Athi River to express their support for Azimio presidential candidate Raila Odinga in the next month's general election. The traders say conflicts around land is a setback to development in Ukambani region, and fronting the Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka as chief minister in case of an Azimio win will address the concerns of the people in Ukambani.
Peana hiyo support yote kwa viongozi wote ambao wameletwa na party leader Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, kwa sababu tunaamini kwamba kiongozi yeyote ama mtu yeyote akikupatia msaada na wewe pia unashukuru, na ndio hiyo sababu tuna support viongozi wale wameletwa na Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka.
Forward the electoral justice, forward.
Forward.
The civil society organizations in Siaya are calling for transparency and accountability in the management of the August 9th general election. During a peace-building training in Siaya, the organization's representatives, led by Sheikh Ibrahim Otieno, said that the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission need to popularize the elections management process by involving the civil society.
As members of the civil society organizations here, we stand firm for peaceful, democratic, credible elections. As such, we are here to synergize the efforts at CSO that we will be able to play to ensure that our elections are to that standard.
And a section of the Kikuyu community in Isiolo County has thrown its weight for political candidates under the Jubilee ticket in the August polls. The community dubbed Mfinyanzi, meaning Mumbi, mother of the Agikuyu, urged the leaders to foster conducive environments for businesses after the August polls.
Kitu nataka ni sisi tujitume na to ensure that actually we do what we are supposed to do. Kuchagua leaders ambao watatupeleka mbele, leaders ambao watatuendesha vizuri, leaders ambao hawana ukabila.
Tutahakikisha makabila zote ambayo wanaishi ndani ya Isiolo, mpaka ile kabila ndogo ya Wanubi, Wandorobo, wanapata haki yao katika kaunti ya nini ya Isiolo kwa governor.
The county government of Kakamega has set aside 7 million shillings for water projects in each and every constituency in the region, while in Likuyani, area governor Wycliffe Oparanya said his administration aim at ensuring every home has access to clean water.
Hii mtambo ambao tunapata leo, tumeanzisha leo, inaweza kutoa maji lita 1.5 milioni, 1.5 million liters kila siku. Hiyo ni maji mingi sana. Hiyo maji inaweza kutumika katika Lukuyani ward yote na tena ingie kule Kongoni.
Irene Mchuma Udim, The Lunchtime News.
Elsewhere, residents of Nauneri village in Samburu County can breathe a sigh of relief following the completion of the Nkokin water dam. The dam's construction was sponsored by the Narig project in partnership with the Samburu County government at a cost of 28 million shillings. The dam has a capacity to store 100,000 cubic meters of water.
Mr. Lekalasoi Lelei, a resident of Nauneri, says residents have over the years walked long distances of up to 15 kilometers in search of water.
Kwa hivyo sisi imetoseka sana kwamba ile maga mingi sana kwa hapa. Lakini hiyo sasa hiyo serikali imesaidia sisi sana.
While speaking during the commissioning of the project, Samburu County Governor Moses Elenol Kulal said the dam will significantly reduce the radius covered to reach watering points. The dam will supply water to about 20,000 people and livestock from the 3 neighboring wards.
With a catchment of about 20,000 people. The dam is ideal for both domestic and livestock uses because we have a lot of catchment here. We have a lot of water flow here. That we can have a series of such dams downstream to increase the water capacity and reservoirs for also use in irrigation.
The governor also urged the incoming government to invest more funds in dam construction in order to enable residents of Samburu County to practice irrigation farming. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Daniel Mugo.
Makueni County government is targeting to vaccinate at least 70% of its residents against COVID-19 in the next 100 days. Head of immunization in Makueni County, Anthony Mudulu, said the Rapid Resource Initiative to combat coronavirus aims to align the county with the national government's goal to attain 100% adult vaccination against COVID-19 by the end of this year. The county government held a multi-sectoral meeting on COVID-19 and sensitization exercises in a bid to improve on vaccination in the region. According to Mudulu, so far the uptake of vaccines has been low in the county, with only 30% of the population having received full doses of the vaccines. Makueni Assistant Commissioner Nancy Kemutai said they came up with strategies which will help the county government encourage and convince all Makueni residents to go and get vaccinated.
In Makueni County, we have managed only around 30% of our target population and it's our hope that we'll reach 70% by end of July, and probably by December we'll have reached 100% of our targeted population. However, since we began vaccination of people against COVID-19, we've realized we have a good number of defaulters. Actually, over 93,000 people have defaulted against the series of the vaccines that they're supposed to get. So it's also our hope that during this time, we are going to trace the defaulters and vaccinate them so that our coverage can also improve and protect them as well from this disease.
We are going to do a lot of mobilization and sensitization to make sure that we reach the 70 plus of this exercise. And as a government is targeting the 27 million people to be vaccinated by end of December.
Or we discuss in the group.
Moving on, a group of widows and widowers in Isiolo County have protested what they claim as a plot to grab their land. The residents cite encroachment of their land by a military officer despite a court order.
The irate group members pulled down fencing posts belonging to a military officer who had begun to fence off a section of their parcel of land after authorities allegedly failed to act despite reporting the matter to the police. Hussein Mohammed, the chairperson of the members of the group registered as People Like Us, noted that encroachers started interest on the parcel of land since 2012, forcing the poor widows and widows to move to court to seek protection, where they obtained a court order that prevents any development activities on the said land.
So tukiwa tunadhania mchanga inamwagwa hivyo, kumbe kuna hila ya kumwaga mchanga pale. Tukalalamika, tukaweza kushika hata hizo magari ambazo zilikuwa zinamwaga mchanga hapa, lakini waliwachiliwa. Baada ya kuachiliwa, tukaendelea kuwazuia. Finally, cha ajabu ni kwamba kumbe intention ya kumwaga mchanga ilikuwa ni kunyakua ile ardhi.
Si wa mama yatima, wa mama wazee, kiwete, na niko na kati yangu ya kiwete, tuko kiwete wengi, kuna wa yatima, kuna wa mama single, tuko hapa leo tunalia, tunataka haki yetu.
The irate members vowed to demolish any structures erected on the land, arguing that even those forcefully encroaching need to respect the existing court orders.
Tunatetea haki yetu, hatupati haki, na maneno yetu pia iko kotini, na wale pia tulikuwa tunafanya nao kotini kwa sasa pia wamewacha maneno ya koti. Unaona, sasa sisi hatuwezi jenga hii mahali yetu kabla koti haijaisha.
They decried inaction by government authorities who they accused of doing nothing to address their plight. For Lunchtime News, I'm Juliet Joroge.
We now head to county number 14, where political and religious leaders in Embu County have called for residents to preach peace and unity among the different communities in the region. Speaking at St. Peter's and Paul Cathedral, Carolina in Embu during the funeral service of Monsignor Gabriel Njeru Muveredi, the Archbishop of Nyeri Diocese, Archbishop Muheria Anthony challenged the residents to preach peace and emulate the late Monsignor, who never quarreled with anyone. Embu gubernatorial aspirant and Devolution Party chairman Lenny Kivuti said that residents should maintain peace instead of fighting one another.
Lakini kusikiza na mashauri, hivyo ndivyo tunaweza kuza. Ndio nataka kusema asante kwako na kwa wote ambao walimwangalia huyu baba, na tunataka kusema kwamba huo ndio mtindo wa kanisa letu, na hiyo mtindo wa jimbo hili ambao tunalipenda na
kama anahubiri amani, na amani, kila mtu Kenya anaambiwa amani, na wengine wakiambiwa amani wanaenda na rungu kama Mwea juzi. Rafiki yangu Mwema alichapwa karibu kuua, unapiga yeye kichwa, bavu na watu bauza 8 wakipiga mtu mmoja wa dini. ati kwa sababu ametoka kwa my opponent na anani support.
Residents of elephant-prone Chakama area in Magarini constituency, Kilifi County, have vowed to vote for leaders who will provide a lasting solution to human-wildlife conflict. The residents who echoed their frustrations claimed the human-wildlife conflict has been a source of food scarcity, hunger, and insecurity in the area.
The human-wildlife conflict among the residents of Chakama area in Magarini constituency, Kilifi County, came into fore as locals presented it as prerequisite and priority to those seeking elective positions during the August polls. The residents decried that elephants' invasion has rendered them poor and devastated.
Tukilima kule mashambani kwetu, basi tuna shida ya ndovu. Mahindi yetu yakianza kumea hapa kakifika mahali ambapo kuna saa, mahindi yanashambuliwa.
They further expressed the dangers that their school-going children get exposed to, which is occasioned by traversing through thick thickets and direct encounters with wild animals.
Nakosa kufika shule wakati ufao kwa sababu ndovu huwa wanafika, ndovu by saa 2 huwa bado wako barabarani, na hiyo imetatiza hali ya elimu Chakama.
Kilifi gubernatorial aspirant George Kifi faulted the government for playing tantrums with the issues while calling it to mitigate the situation.
Lazima tuishi hapa, hatuwezi kuja kusumbuliwa na ndovu, serikali ikiangalia.
Tunachotaka ni kwamba hawa ndovu wazuiliwe, wasifikie wananchi. Hiyo jambo tuko nayo sahihi, yatutosha. Tusiongezewe shida nyingine ya maafa na wanyama wa pori.
According to the residents, an average of more than 150 elephants vacate Savo West Park to invade the area annually. For Lunchtime News, I am Frederick Parsayo.
At about 22 minutes past the hour, we are taking a quick break. But remember, we are still keeping a keen eye on the judgment, on the Willy Kimani judgment that is currently underway at the High Court in Milimani. We'll be coming back with that report.
Let's talk about Martina and Tile. Hello, hello. I remember watching your videos a long time ago when you first started doing YouTube videos, and then Justin Bieber and Cardi B and all these international celebrities shared your videos. And then from there, everything changed.
Dancing, I've been dancing since I was little.
Wow.
But like commercially, just like, let me see, 4 or 3 years ago.
My baby, my Valentine. Can I hit the making what temperature is? If you leave me a good time, I swear you are like the oxygen.
The global film industry is expected to reach more than $410 billion in 4 years' time, and Kenya is angling for a piece of this pie.
The government of Kenya is working as a collective, one unit. We work very closely with the licensing body, that is KFCB, the Communications Authority, in championing the rights of filmmakers when it comes to content. Also, Kenya Corporate Board, we have an MOU with them, among others. And the reason behind this is so that we are able to put our resources together.
This week on Inside Government, we are talking to Timothy Owase, the Chief Executive Officer of Kenya Film Commission, and we are looking at Kenya's film industry, the challenges and the way forward, right here on KBC Channel 1.
Finally, the wait is over. The Sundowner Sunset date is back. Saturday, 30th July 2022. The Grand Collabo, the gorgeous Catherine Donye and the wicked weekend man John Obongo Jr. together on one stage for the first time.
Meanwhile, some country.
Plus saw Elvis performing your favorite country hits live. All roads lead to the park in Kitengela, the land of Nyama Choma, for music, dance, food, drink, and so much fun. The Sundowner Sunset Date, the Grand Collabo. Mark the date, Saturday, 30th July 2022. Tickets cost 500 shillings at the gate.
Welcome back. Just in case you joined us, this is KBC Lunchtime News. More news coming up, but before we do that, let's first of all cross over to the Milimani Law Courts, where High Court Judge Jessie Lesit is currently giving her verdict on the Willy Kimani murder case.
Now, the analysis received by PW, the numbers received by PW44 also was for the deceased persons, and they just confirmed they were switched off immediately after the kidnap. That is what the data was showing. Now the next issue to decide and consider is the one of the phone data for the first and the fourth accused. The PW44 testified that the phone data of Frederick Leniman, the first accused herein, number 0722939198, and of Leonard Mwangi Maina, the fourth accused, herein were not spotted along the scenes of interest at the timings in question. The first accused data, exhibit 98B, shows that he was
We do apologize for that technical hitch, but that case is currently underway, and we have our very own reporters on the ground who will update us on what the court will pronounce itself regarding the Willy Kimani murder case. Away from that, also on the political trail, we are keeping a keen eye on Kenya Kwanza, who are currently in Mombasa. Njue Karisa is currently preparing as for that live feed, but as soon as that is ready, we will be crossing over there. Remember, Azimio is also on its campaign trail in the Nyanza region. But before then, a family in Buruburu is seeking justice for the death of their 8-year-old girl who is allegedly to have died under mysterious circumstances while in school. Jane Warugoro was discovered missing in class for close to 4 hours before pupils and teachers embarked on a mission to trace her whereabouts. Her body was later discovered near a swimming pool at Buruburu Phase 1 Primary School.
Disturbed by her sudden demise, the family narrated how they got a distress call later that evening, summoning them to the school.
Mke wangu alipigiwa simu masaa ya saa 9 ikielekea saa 9, kabua mtoto aliyekuwa amepeleka asubuhi na mapema shuleni hapatikani, na kama mzazi nikachukua hiyo jukumu, nikakibia hadi huko shuleni, nikaungana na mke wangu tutafute mtoto.
It is while at the school that the sad news was announced to them.
Hapo ndio walituelezea Jane alitoka kwa class, vile haba kutuelezea alitoka aje na alipatana na accident, which walisema alikuwa drowned kwa swimming pool.
Si ni vizuri tu aniambie ukweli, ama mtoto alikufa mahali pengine wakaja wakamtia hapa ndani ya maji, ama nini kingine kilichofanyika mahala pale.
The family has accused the school administration of negligence, wondering how Jane, who was autistic and studying in a class of pupils with special needs, accessed the swimming pool, which is always closed.
Unajua autistic children hakuna mahali mtoto haezi enda, but Swali yangu ni aliingia aje kwa simu bearing in mind it is locked and it is fenced.
The school administration, however, refused to comment on the matter. The cause of death is now under investigation by Buruburu police officers.
Nataka tu usaidizi ichunguzwe tu. Ndio at least hata kama sitamrudisha uhai. The others wenye wamebaki pale wakwetu na security enough ya kutosha.
Mimi tunataka haki ya mtoto wangu itendeke. Juu hizo ni cases mingi, hata hiyo tunasikia kuna kesi nyingine sio hiyo yangu tu. Haki itendeke.
Trevor Ngendo, Lunchtime News.
In other news, the government, through the Children's Department in Busia County, has unveiled a policy targeting gender-based violence and teen pregnancy challenge. Director Children Department Esther Wasige disclosed that some children have been neglected or lack proper care from their parents. Director in charge of rural organization Mary Makoha stated that cases of early pregnancies and rape are contributed by the community that neglect girl child. Evelyn Omasaja observed that it's important for girls to undergo counseling and those who got pregnant to be given a second chance, sentiments echoed by Jean Paul, a lawyer at Equality, who noted that most cases have been dismissed in courts as lack of evidence or witness withdrawal.
Tutatafuta namna ya kuwarudisha shuleni through second chance program. Yule ambaye amepata mimba tutamtafuta, tukae na yeye tumweleze na tutafute namna ya kumrudisha shuleni. Wale ambao bado wako shuleni tutaweka mentorship program za kuwasaidia ili tupunguze idadi za mimba za mapema kwa wasichana wetu ambao wako shuleni. Kwa hivyo tutatembea na hawa wasichana wanapoanza kubalehe kutoka primary school mpaka wanapomaliza.
Na nafikiria hiyo imechangia sana kwa sababu unapata mtoto msichana, hasa msichana, kwa sababu hata sasa kuna ubakaji wa wavulana. Msichana anapobakwa unapata, yani wazazi hawatilii maanani sana, wazazi wanaona kile kama kitega uchumi. Wanaenda wanalipwa, mambo yaishie hapo.
Zile kesi ambazo nakuta faili inapotea, kuna zile kesi ambazo pia unakuta kwamba mtu anapewa hela alafu anaachilia kesi. Zile kesi ambazo pia unakuta kwa sababu ya ukosefu wa usalama, yule msichana anatoroka, anatolewa Busia, wakati ambao kesi inaitwa kotini yule msichana pengine amepelekwa sehemu nyingine kwa usalama wake. Kwa hivyo unakuta ile kesi basi inakuwa haina wala tunawaita washahidi ama witnesses.
And from Busia, we now cross over to Mombasa, where Kenya Kwanza have pitched tent for their campaigns just 17 days to the general election. And I can see our very own Njue Karisa. Good afternoon, Njue. Kindly bring us up to speed with the latest from the Kenya Kwanza campaign.
Good afternoon, Ben Troy. I'm coming to you live from Kilifi County, where this is the third stopover for the Deputy President who is leading the Kenya Kwanza Alliance to traverse the coastal region. This is the third day. The first day they were in Taita Taveta County. Yesterday they were in Tana River and Lamu counties. Today he has pitched camp here in Kilifi County, and today he started his tour in Magarini constituency. He has proceeded to Rabai in Rabai constituency, where he's just winding up, and then he will be flying in this particular grounds to address the residents of Kilifi. Now, one of the gospels that he has been preaching for the coastal residents is the contentious issue of the port operations. It has been a song that has been chanted from both parties, the Azimio coalition as well as the Kenya Kwanza coalition. What they are saying is both of them are promising to restore the port operations here in other coast. However, who is to take blame as to what happened until most of these residents were rendered joblessness is the bone of contention. Another thing that the Kenya Kwanza Alliance is promising the residents here is the buying of 1 million acre pieces of land so that they can resolve their perennial land question that these residents have been crying from time in memorial. So those are some of the promises the Deputy President is hitting hard on for the residents to woo them so that they can add to the 1.3 million baskets here at the coast. He is promising that the port operations that are big part of the coastal people's lives will be restored within the 100 days, and of course the land issue that he has promised to resolve by buying 1 million acre. If we have to wait until the August night to see if some of these promises will be put into pen by if the Azimio party wins or the Kenya Kwanza coalition wins. Another bone of contention is about the leaders who are leading this brigade, and that is the Kilifi governor Amason Kingi, who defected from the ODM party and launched his party, that is the PA party, and joined hands with the Deputy President. This is a subject that has been talked about by the Azimio coalition leaders, who have said that he has been ungrateful despite him being helped in his political career. But we have seen Amason Kingi saying that he has a democratic right to choose whichever coalition to choose in these campaigns, so they should leave him alone. So these are some of the remarks that they have been making for the past 3 days as they are transversing the coastal region. He is, of course, joined by the Kwale Governor Salim Mvurya, and here we expect that his host, who is the Malindi Member of Parliament Aisha Juma, who is looking for the gubernatorial seat here, to address the crowd and see if he can harvest the votes of this particular county. So we are awaiting the arrival of Deputy President William Ruto, who is leading the Kenya Kwanza Alliance Brigade in this particular area, so that he can address the residents who are eager to hear what he has in store for them. As I have mentioned earlier, the land issue as well as the port operations, some of the issues that he is drumming so that he can be able to woo the voters that are eagerly waiting for him. So, of course, we are waiting for the politics of the day, and we will be bringing you up to speed in our subsequent bulletins. But for now, I hand it back to you, Ben Njue, in studio.
It is indeed a busy day for the Kenya Kwanza, 3 days on the coast. Where do we expect them next, Njue? We seem to have lost Njue, but of course we will be getting back to her with a much comprehensive report in regards to Deputy President and the Kenya Kwanza campaign trail down at the coast, that is in Mombasa County number 1. From county number 1 to county number 47, where Azimio la Umoja Nairobi region head of campaigns Tim Wanyonyi has urged voters to turn up in large numbers and vote for Raila Odinga as the next president.
Speaking in Kitisuru as he drummed up support for his bid to secure his Westland seat, Tim Wanyonyi expressed his confidence in Azimio victory for the State House race.
Watasalimu amri, wanajua baba ndio rais wa 5 wa nchi ya Kenya, na sisi tuko kwa hiyo barabara, na sisi wote tunataka kuwa ndani ya serikali, si ndio? Kwa hivyo hiyo barabara tusitoke.
Elsewhere, Mathare Member of Parliament Benson Guga Milai received boost for his bid following the endorsement from Agikuyu elders from Mathare constituency as the suitable candidate for the position. And Ricardo Nyandika, in his campaign for Embakasi ward seat, commended President Kenyatta for reducing the price for maize flour and commended those opposing the initiative. Nyandika, who drummed up support for Azimio la Umoja One Coalition Alliance, promised to address water shortage, decongest schools, and build technical schools to empower youths in the area once elected.
For the new government coming in ya Azimio, sisi ni kushukuru hata mzee kwa kutetea kwa serikali paka unga ikakuja chini, kwa sababu wananchi walikuwa wamehangaika sana. Tungeomba wananchi wasimame na mheshimiwa baba na mama na gavana wetu Paul Cap Igade ili tuweze kujenga serikali in the next 2 weeks.
In business, EAC heads of state have called for the removal of the remaining non-tariff barriers, completion of all protocols to attract investments, liberalization of air transport, and harmonization of domestic taxes. Implementation of the recommendation is expected to push up intra-trade within East Africa Community from the current 15% to 50% in 5 years.
The 22nd Ordinary EAC Heads of State Summit kicked off Thursday, with the heads of state, the private sector and policymakers taking stock of the progress made over the last 11 years since the coming into force of the common market. They discussed challenges faced and the interventions required for full realization of the benefits of the common market. EAC heads of state called for elimination of the remaining non-tariff barriers, completion of all protocols to attract investments, liberalization of air transport, harmonization of domestic taxes, and removal of visa restrictions amongst member states.
Laws and regulations of the EAC partner states continue to present barriers to increase cross-border trade and investment in the region. In goods, for instance, the partner states have deviated from their commitments through applications of tariff equivalent measures, resulting to an increase in non-tariff barriers.
They noted that development of interlinked infrastructure within the EAC would fast-track regional integration and grow trade from the current 15% to 50% in 5 years.
If we were all interlinked and we had this market, we would be able to use our own raw materials, produce for ourselves, be able to distribute to ourselves, and have access also to international markets. But because we are not interlinked, because we are not a common market, because we operate separately, which is what some people want us to be, we remain markets.
To be able to maintain security of food within the region, we have to have the food balance sheet. We have to know exactly where produces, what is produced in what area, which country produce what type of crop, which country lacks what type of crops. And we should be able to distribute, as my kaka Uhuru here said, infrastructure development, feeder roads, to take those crops from the farms to where the markets are or where the processing plants are.
President Kenyatta noted that the EAC is endowed with natural resources that should be secured, calling for establishment of common institution to curb illicit financial flows. President Kenyatta is expected to hand over the chairmanship of EAC to Burundi's President Evariste Ndayishimiye during the two-day summit.
Back home, the construction of the Dongo Kundu bypass is 53% with a completion target of the year 2024. The 22 billion shilling highway, also known as Mombasa Southern Bypass, is expected to provide alternative routes to the south coast, reducing congestion at the Likoni ferry. The Kenya National Highway Authority, KENHA, also says the Makupa Bridge will be commissioned later this month, easing entry into Mombasa Island.
The construction of the two phases of Dongo Kundu bypass involves the construction of an interchange at the Likoni Lunga Highway and the erection of two bridges, one at Mwache spanning 660 meters and another at Mteza straddling 1,440 meters. Once phase 2 of the bypass is complete, it will connect the West Mainland to the South Coast through Tsunza and open all the hinterland in Kwale County while reducing traffic at the Likoni crossing channel. The Kenya National Highway Authority Regional Director, Engineer Simon Omono, has said the project will also facilitate trade and movement to and from neighboring Tanzania via Kwale County, fostering regional cooperation.
We indeed want to achieve with this project is to open up the southern part of the coast and link our country to Tanzania and our tourist destinations, that is Diani, Shimoni, and places like that, Kwale. We will also link the rest of the country to the special economic zone that is coming up in these parts.
Engineer Omono further says work on the 4.5 billion Makupa Bridge is complete and awaiting commissioning. The construction of the Makupa Bridge, which started last year, will allow the free flow of water, which is important for the ecosystem in the region.
So the bridge itself, whatever activities that are remaining are very minor, which the contractor can do within a very short period of time. So focus now is on the approach roads, which he has to complete very quickly so that the bridge can be opened.
The bridge will also end traffic delays, reduce accidents, avert pollution to fishing grounds within the ocean, and restore the status of Mombasa as an island city.
We have come, you can see that the earthworks are around 90% complete. We have started the pavement layers. We have started doing the subgrade that will allow the easy ferrying of the gutters.
Kenya's green buildings remain low due to a lack of proper policies and expertise. The Kenya Green Building Society says county governments need to implement and adopt a sustainable building framework to boost foreign investor interest in the sector, which currently stands at 3%.
The number of certified and registered green buildings in Kenya stands at 64, a growth from 48 buildings in March this year, and a 100% rise from 2020. The Kenya Green Building Society says this growth projection could be accelerated through foreign investor involvement, which is very low in the country. Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure Urban Planning Advisor Caleb Mireri says a multi-sectoral approach is necessary to ensure all parties involved in the building process implement sustainable building practices.
You have a role to play to ensure that the green building concepts, design, applications are mainstreamed in our systems.
Investors are keen to understand what you're doing for your organizations to get on track on ESG. And hopefully, if we do, then the benefits are enormous because we can set the trend for other African countries to follow. And because we're climate change champions in Africa, we can then translate it to real change where businesses are not just making profit, but are also helping communities.
Green construction stakeholders say the adoption of sustainable building practices and materials is cheaper, and more developers could adopt it with better outreach and framework implementation by the government.
How sustainability plays out in Kenya and Africa is different from how it plays out to other countries in the world. So we need to localize that, and we can only do that if we have conversations happening.
As COP27 comes closer and closer, Kenya might be a leader globally in sustainable buildings. However, how can we boost those numbers in order to attract more investors? Hibak Said for Lunchtime News.
The government says the Maize subsidy program will cost the taxpayer an initial 8 billion shillings, with amount likely to increase as Kenya grapples with a 6 million bag deficit. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya says the subsidy will continue until maize prices stabilize, but is non-committal on if informal retailers with the old stock will be covered by the subsidy.
The cost will go up. But I'm telling you, our estimation is that we have already put aside in our budgeting, together with the Treasury, we put aside 8 billion to fund the program. And if need for more money arises, then the account will be replenished. We take stock of the maize coming in, and we could give you details later. But before the program started, our deficit, the identified deficit that necessitated us to allow traders to buy maize duty-free was 6 million bags. We needed an importation of 6 million bags on top of what we normally import, because the traders still import naturally. We buy maize from every day from Uganda, from Tanzania.
Yes.
Moving on, Microsoft has rolled out an initiative to upskill undergraduate Kenya students with digital and coding abilities. The initiative aims to help the students become more suitable candidates for various tech roles in the industry and increase their employability.
So it's really exciting to see the Game of Learners Season 3 coming to an end. And one of the things I would like to commend the teams is the fact that each team submitted a project. And mind you, these students were still doing their classwork, their day-to-day jobs, and they still got time to learn, to do a lot of training, because some of them were not even computer science students. Some of them are from different areas that are not technology related, but they all got a technology-related solution at the end.
We had reached out to Microsoft last year. We run a youth challenge where we look at innovations from across the country and see how we can support them with mentorship, with seed funding, as well as how to scale their ideas. And from the discussions we had last year, they reached out to us again this year to see if we'd be able to participate as judge in this panel that we're having today.
Time to play. In sports, world champion Faith Kipyegon is going for nothing less than the 1500 meters world record at the Monaco Diamond League on 10th of August. Kipyegon, on her arrival in the country last night from Oregon, where she won the world gold medal in the 1500 meters, promised to break the world record, which stands at 3 minutes 50.07 seconds, set in 2017 by Ethiopia's Genzebe Dibaba.
On her arrival last night from Oregon, Kipyegon said that the elusive world record will be her target at the Monaco Diamond League on the 10th of August.
I can say now I'm really looking forward to get what I'm still missing in my pocket, which is world record. And I hope I'm gonna work hard and pray God to give me that strength to achieve the world record. I can say it's really something special. I didn't know I'm the first lady to have achieved such great achievement in 1500. But I'm so grateful, and I'm looking forward to be the GOAT in 1500, and and do the best.
She is at the moment the only Kenyan gold medalist at the Oregon World Championships.
All the best to Kipyegon and congratulations for the gold. From athletics to soccer now, Senegal's Sadio Mane was crowned African Footballer of the Year for the second time running at the Confederation of African Football CAF award ceremony held in the Monaco capital Rabat. The awards returned for the first time in 3 years after being suspended due to the coronavirus pandemic.
This is a very special year, and the winner is Sadio Mane.
Bayern Munich and Senegal striker Sadio Mane was last night named African Player of the Year. Mane beat compatriots and Chelsea goalkeeper Edouard Mendy, as well as former Liverpool teammate Salah, whose Egypt side lost February's final.
Very well-deserved trophy.
He has won it back-to-back after winning it in 2019, with the 2020 and 2021 events not held because of COVID-19.
Incredible goal.
Senegal were the winners of the night as Pape Matar Sarr was named the Young Player of the Year. Pape Ousmane Sako, who plays for Simba Sports Club of Tanzania, won the Goal of the Year.
Congratulations! Please make some noise for him.
Aliou Cisse won the Coach of the Year award, while the Senegalese team became the National Team of the Year. The Club of the Year was awarded to Wydad Casablanca of Morocco.
From
In the women's category, Nigeria and Barcelona striker Asisat Oshoala became the record winner of the African Women Footballer of the Year award, with 5 trophies won in 2014, 2016, 2017, 2019 and 2022.
And I'm loving your style.
The team of the year will be featured tomorrow after the Women's AFCON final, which will be held in South Africa and host Morocco.
African Player of the Year in the women's category.
And Kenya's Jacob Krop, David Simiyu and Nicholas Kipkorir boosted their chances of bagging medals at the ongoing World Athletics Championships in Oregon, the United States, after they qualified for the final of the men's 5,000 meters early today. The last time Kenya bagged gold in the 12.5 lap race was back in the year 2005. We'll be coming up with that story in our subsequent bulletin, but of course for more you can just log on to www.kbc.co.ke and also on all our social media spaces. Thank you indeed so much for joining us for KBC Lunchtime News. That is where we put a cap. Thank you so much. We are keenly following up on the Kenya Kwanza, the Azimio campaign trails, and also we are also following up on that judgment that is currently underway at the Milimani Law Courts in regards to the Willy Kimani murder case. Judge Jesse Lesit giving that verdict. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Ben Troy Njue, and Lucy Mora has been our sign language interpreter for this live newscast. Do have yourself a blessed afternoon.
Kupata ulimi na mafikira kama skiza tune kwenye simu yako, bonyeza *811 *815 hash.
Hey, my friend, ulimi ni kama msumari na mafikira ni kama nyundo. Hizo vitu mbili zikishikana, zinaweza jenga ama zinaweza bomoa. Haki na sita fadhali. Hebu fikiria hiyo kitu nataka kuniambia kabla nishike hii simu. Kama unataka kunibomoa, toa hiyo simu kwa masikio. Unaona hiyo kitu ya red? Finya hiyo kitu ya red.
Kupata ulimi na mafikira, bonyeza *811 *815 hash. *811 *815 hash.
We shall legalize weed.
Professor George Luchiri Wajakoya of the Roots Party.
Semeni Babakea. Babakea.
Raila Amolo Odinga of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Party.
Unajua mimi sina pesa ya serikali ama ya kashfa.
David Mwaure Wahiga of the Agano Party. And
tunasema kazi ni nini?
William Samoei Ruto of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Presidential Debate 2022. Do not adjust your sets.